Now we can see how we will execute our test suite outside of IntelliJ IDEA. Well, we'll be executing the whole test suite using Maven. Okay, so there is a precondition for that. You need to install Maven in your machine. So if you haven't set up Maven, you have to watch the video on how to set up Maven, and then after setting up Maven, you can continue with this. All right, so we have to add one plugin for this into pom.xml. Okay, so let's open pom.xml and then let's go under here at the bottom. Let's include one portion. I'm going to copy and paste a portion for making it fast. I'm going to copy a portion, this one. Okay, so the build portion, build, and then plugins. There is a plugin. So this plugin, you can get it from Maven MVN repository. You can Google and get the Maven Fire Sure plugin. This is the one. Okay, so what you should do is you go and search with this plugin, Maven Fire Sure plugin, MVN repository, and then you can find the details there. Okay, so you go here and then there is a dependency for that. Okay, so you have to copy that and add it under the plugin, right? But there are some configurations, okay, some additional configurations as well, so you have to include that as well. So I will be sharing the location to this file, the whole pom.xml file. You can get it from there and you can copy this. So it's a very simple configuration. You just need to copy and paste it from this build, and then so here you have the group ID, artifact ID, version. Then there is some configuration, suite XML file. So this decides which is the XML file, which is the testng.xml file that has to be executed. So in our case, we're gonna execute the XML file test suite.xml. This is where we have all our test configure, right? This is our test suite. So we need to point to this particular file. So let us copy this path, the reference path here, and the content, the path from content root. So let's copy this one, and then let's go back to pom.xml, and let me modify this path. Okay, I'm going to paste it here. So this is the path to from the root, and here we have source, test, resources, and under that test suite.xml. So when you execute it with Maven, it will look for this particular file, and then the controller will pass to TestNG, and then TestNG will take care of executing your tests. Okay, let me load it once again. Since we made a change in the pom.xml, you'll get the logo here. Then you have to click it and update it. Fine. Now let's move out of IntelliJ IDEA. Let's go to the folder where we have this project. We have to go to the root location, and from there we will be executing it. Okay, so we'll be executing it from the terminal or command prompt in Windows, right? So this is a Mac machine, so I'll be executing it in terminal. So let me go into the location, open in Finder. Okay, so this will take you to the location where we have the project. So in your case, if you're using Windows, it's gonna be like Explorer, Windows Explorer, right? Or location. Okay, so you take this, then this is the location where I have the project. Okay, TestNG study is the folder where I have this project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my terminal. Okay, if it is a Windows machine, from Windows Explorer itself, from the address bar, you can type cmd and enter, so then you will get the command prompt. Okay, all right, now let me zoom it a bit. So from here, since it's Mac, I have to, from the terminal, I have to go to this particular location. Okay, so if you're already there in the corresponding location in your Windows machine, you don't need to change your location here. But in my case, I have to change it. So this is under study, and then again I'm changing directory. CD stands for change directory command, and just ng study. So now I am in this folder. Okay, so this is the location, and from here now, if you have opened this from Windows, directly from the Windows Explorer, Windows Explorer, from the address bar, when you type cmd and enter, then you will go to the corresponding location in command prompt. Okay, and then you can directly type the command. Okay, you don't need to change the directory and all in case of Windows. All right, so now the Maven command for executing your test, for building and executing your test. Okay, it's mvn space test. So this is what you have to execute. So mvn space test. Then you press enter, so that Maven will find a project from the pom.xml, and it will get all the set of files from this location, and from pom.xml, it will get the necessary information to build your project, and also it will get the location of your testng.xml file, and because you configured it here, right, this is a test suite file, so it will get that as well. It will pass the details to testng, then testng will execute all your test suite. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to execute this command mvn space test, and let's see what happens. So now you can see that the tests are executed. Okay, so it's doing the builds first. Okay, so the projects are built, compiled, and it's built. Then the tests are executed. So you can see in the console, like, running test suite, and there are some, print statements, right? So all those are printed into the console, and then, some tests are failed because we intentionally failed some tests, right? So all these details are here, right? Okay, there you go. So everything is done. Now let's go to the folder, and here you have the result in test output. Let's click and open, and here the test report is generated. And so we don't need IntelliJ IDEA for running it, right? So once IntelliJ IDEA is for coding it, but once your test suite is ready to execute, everything else can be done from outside. So for example, if you are working with DevOps team for setting up Jenkins and all, you'll have to give this command to the DevOps team, mvn test. So you should have a test suite with everything configured. Then you have to pass the command mvn space test to the DevOps team, so that they can configure it in Jenkins or a similar tool, and they will be configuring the automatic building and test run, and they'll be scheduling it in Jenkins. Okay, so let's open it and see the test report. Okay, and so you have to tell all these details to them, like how they can execute the test suite, what is the command line, and where they can find the test result as well. Okay, so in our case, it is in this folder, test output folder, so that you have to point this to them, so that they can take this file and publish it on Jenkins. So you will have a CI/CD setup ready. So try it out, and if you have any questions, let me know.